Hi, friends. Welcome to another 5 Minutes of Hope. I'm the Reluctant Missiologist, and we've been talking about how to have hope in troubled times. Now, I want to continue talking about the word reluctant and how that relates to my name. It even relates a little bit to the picture and the logo here of a whale. Jonah was reluctant. That's the first thing I think of when I think of Jonah. Well, I talked last time about being reluctant to go into missions. Now I want to talk about being reluctant to go into mission studies. If I would have looked at myself 20 years ago and thought, where would I be in 20 years? I would have never guessed I'd be coming towards the end of a PhD program in mission studies. In fact, I would have thought, I'm getting near the end of Bible college and I'm going to be done with school and then I'm going to just do ministry. Not that I'm going to be done with learning. Learning continues to happen. And for me, I love learning informally. I love asking questions, dialoguing, reading materials here and there, learning from experience. But I never thought school was for me. I just didn't excel in school. I never really saw myself in that kind of capacity. And even about 5 years ago, I really thought the next thing in my life was going to be something different. I wanted to study. I really felt like teaching was in the future, but PhD, it just felt like, it just didn't feel like it fit me. Although I knew it was something I should look into. And then I signed up for it and I got into it. And all of a sudden, I really feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. In so many ways I could explain that. But the biggest thing is when I first got into this and thought, I'm going to do this, I really felt the Lord saying to me in the small, still voice in the back of my mind that he was saying he's going to open up doors that I have no idea. And the reality is he's been opening up doors that I had no idea would happen. And I've been able to be in certain rooms and certain opportunities, certain conversations where I'm really speaking into what it means to do mission, whether it's with people in my local church, people in my district of churches, or in other capacities. But the Lord is doing things in me that I never would have imagined. And maybe reluctant isn't the best word. It's a little bit self-deprecating. Maybe I'm not overly reluctant as much as God opens the door for me to get into this at the right time. If I think, I should have done it 10 years earlier, I might not have been ready with the experiences I'd had or the things going on. But now is the right time. I just would have never imagined it. And that's where I look at it in the sense of reluctant. It's not like I had this great plan of where I was going to be. And I think that's the thing when we look at a crisis or a difficult thing. Doing missions was hard. Doing mission studies is hard. Life is full of hard things. But if we realize that God is already way ahead of us and he knew where I was going and knew what it took to get me there, even if I didn't realize it until much closer to the time that he opened the doors, God opens one door at a time that we're ready to go through. And when it comes to difficult moments in our life or what's going on right now in the world, nobody would have imagined going through this. But the reality is God takes what we're going through and he does something in us when we lean on him. It's not a magic thing that when we go through difficult times, he builds our character or our character is developed. But we can have our character developed. And we may not have chosen, nobody would have chosen this, but we can go through it because we can trust that God can take us through anything and do anything with us. And so as I talk about being a reluctant missiologist, sometimes it's just not what I first would have dreamed of as a 15-year-old or a 20-year-old, but here I am and seeing God do things in me that I would have never imagined. And I just want to say to you, wherever you're at, who knows why we're in this? Who knows what's going to come out of all of this? Who knows what's next? But we do know who holds the world in his hands and who helps guide our steps step by step. And that's the God of all creation. And so that's where we can get hope, is that we can look not at the waves that are in front of us, but we can look beyond those waves or beyond what's going on or beyond what's unsettling to the one who settles our soul. And so with that, just keep on looking to Jesus, looking to the one who's shown us the way this far, and trust in him and keep grabbing onto Jesus. And we'll talk again soon.